Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Good morning, everybody. It is time for Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm so glad you're joining me this morning. Another gorgeous day here in northern Colorado. I mean, I will say yesterday it got a little cloudy. It was a clear morning, and then we kind of had some overcast, and we'd be getting a lot of wind, you know, so it's not like it's perfect here. We're getting some wind. And today, though, I don't even want to say, like, the buds are on my fruit trees. I don't know what's going on. Like, it's February and I can start to see the buds on my fruit trees. So I don't know. I'm just hoping for lots of rain in the spring for those farmers and ranchers. But so I went for a run this morning, and running in the spring is like a renewal. If you're a runner, this will probably resonate with you. You know, you kind of trudge through the winters when you're a runner because you have to do a lot of. When I was like in my late 20s and 30s, I ran outside come hell or high water. Like if it was pouring rain, I was outside. If it was snowing, I was outside. But as you get a little older, you know, the frostbite isn't as pleasant. You know, I mean, I'm serious. I can remember coming in from runs, Colorado winter runs, and just like my legs would be numb and just like pins and needles as they warmed up because it was so cold outside. So, I mean, I did my time outside for sure. But, you know, in the winters as an older runner now, I'm not as like willing to put up with that, you know? So I end up spending a lot of time on the treadmill to get my runs in. But as soon as spring hits, I don't know what it is. It's almost like a renewal of running for me and my connection to running. Man, you can just run your day off. You know, if you've had a crappy day, running will just clear your mind. You can solve problems that you normally can't solve if you're not on a run. It inspires ideas. I can't tell you how many times I've been out on a run and I have to just stop and jot something down on my phone so I don't forget it. It's really my touchstone, and it's free therapy. I've said that for years. People say, I don't know how you run, you know. Non-runners will say, I don't know how you run. I can't run, you know. I don't know how you do that. It's torture. And I say, it's way cheaper than therapy. Running is way cheaper than therapy. So I'm enjoying this time of year in my sport, if you will. Just being outside running, even though it's not even spring. I don't know. It's so weird. It's not spring. Gosh, it's not spring, but it feels like spring. I mean, I'm already running in shorts. So anyway, we'll leave it there. I got a great show for you today. Wow. I stumbled across a podcast yesterday afternoon, and it was somebody that I haven't really checked in on for a while. Greg Braden. I used to follow him quite a bit. I've been to see him speak. I like really his ideas and whatnot really resonate with me a lot of the time. But I haven't really checked in on him for a while to see what he's been up to or whatever. And somehow I stumbled across this podcast he did, an interview. And actually, I don't even know who interviewed him because the interviewer was so gracious and quiet and just let Greg talk while he dropped. Listen, and not everybody agrees. And I respect everybody's viewpoint when it comes to artificial intelligence and, you know, the digital revolution. I totally respect everybody's viewpoint on it. But I cannot sit by idly and act like I think this is going to be all rainbows and unicorns and that it's going to solve the world's problems. I see some major gaps here in the wisdom of the people who are developing AI, in the presentation, you know, from politicians and whatnot, with the expectation of AI. It is just, it's staggering to me. It's staggering to me that we aren't addressing some of these major issues. I was telling Jason yesterday, I'm like, I don't know, like I'm listening to people who are, you know, Stanford educated, Harvard educated, and I just I'm blown away about the lack of wisdom here. Like, what? What are you talking about? You know, it's almost like these people aren't living the same human experience that I am. That's how weird it is. So I was super excited, and I was like, yes, 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 because sometimes I struggle to articulate how I feel about this issue. Sometimes we don't have a lot of vocabulary to express like intuition. I struggle to, what is it called? It's like, it's like, you know it in your soul, you know it in your bones, you know it in your heart center. I don't know. I struggle with a lot of the vocabulary because it sounds so like new agey, and I'm not new agey. So I struggle with the vocabulary to express that, but it's like this has been placed on my heart to talk about this, because I think what bothers me a lot about how the world is that because, and I've talked about this earlier this week, because we have a facade in front of everything, like there's the fake world and then there's the real world behind the curtain, right? It's what we see on the stage. Oh yeah, we're doing this. We're raising money for cancer. But then behind the scenes, it's like this big corporate racket. And everything is like that. And so, why would AI be any different? Why would AI be any different? It feels exactly the same thing to me. Here's the stage. Look at it. We're going to fix this. We're going to have all these answers. It's going to be superhumans. We're going to be so smart. We can be anything we want to be. Like I literally see the devil's face in my mind when I hear these people say that. You can be anything you want to be. Like, okay, really? Yeah? Can ya? It feels like a deal with the devil. Okay? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, okay? But I can't sit back and just watch this happen without it's not like me talking about it's going to change it, really. It's not going to. I've accepted that. We're on this ride and we can express ourselves about it. But I'm not going to tear myself up about it. I'm not going to stop living because of this. In fact, I'm going to live more because of the AI revolution that's coming in. I'm going to live more. I'm going to be more human. I'm going to express my humanness even more. Absolutely. So Greg Braden had a few things to say, and I was blown away because clearly Greg Braden and I are getting the same messages. Almost perfectly, he articulates what I am concerned about and have tried to express. So I brought a few clips with me today to share with you. Somebody else is thinking exactly the same way that I'm thinking. So let's go to clip 1. This is Greg Braden. Take a listen.
I worked during the Cold War years in some of the most advanced technologies, for example, in the SDI, Star Wars Defense Initiative, advanced lasers, communication, radar systems. And I've seen and deeply respect this technology. I'm going to say, at that time, and even to this moment, I have yet to see any technology built in the world around us that does not mimic what we already do in the cells and the systems of our body. And in many cases, we meet and exceed the capacities. We do it better. About what is it that we're about to give away? Our humanness is under attack right now. We are the product of multiple generations where to be human, the idea of our humanness has been denigrated. It has been degraded. We are teaching our young people in school right now. Our young people are being taught that carbon-based life in general, and humans specifically, are flawed. Among our flaws, emotion, because emotion clouds sometimes our logic and our ability to think clearly. Our human experiences of empathy, sympathy, compassion, the ability to self-regulate our own biology, these are seen as flaws. And for young people, if there are flaws, it means we need a savior. And the savior is being touted as technology. AI, computer chips, chemicals in the blood, RFID chips under the skin, sensors in the body, nanobots.
Yes. Oh, yes. You are being conditioned to hate yourself so that you will augment yourself. This has been a decades-long campaign to get you to just be so dissatisfied with your natural self. Nothing is good enough. So true. And what would be, I mean, we've talked about this now several ways, but what would be such a great scam is to trick you into thinking you aren't enough so you can accept something less than and be weakened. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
BitShooters. Thanks so much for watching us on BitShoot. If you would, make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow us on BitShoot, share it with a friend. You can look us up on there at Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. We are on, I think, Jason, I don't know, there's one platform that Jason doesn't put our show on. He puts it absolutely everywhere. So if you happen to be on BitShoot, give us a follow over there at Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. If you don't know, if you're not familiar with Greg Braden, he's a scientist. Okay. He worked in the field of technology. He understands electrical engineering. He has a vast knowledge of history. He's traveled all over the world. He gives historical talks in historical places. Like, he's incredible, right? He's written books. He's an author. Like, he's incredible. His credentials are impeccable. And man, he just blew me away with this interview, because this is exactly what has been on my heart and been on my mind about this. And listen, I know there's a lot of people really excited about AI. Oh, it's going to be so awesome. We're going to have weapons. We're going to have this. We're going to have that. Like, really hyped up. You know, I'm going to be able to write songs. I'm saying this is based on you. Artificial intelligence is a copy of you. And the big scam here is you haven't been able to, because we haven't been conditioned to understand our capability, we've actually been conditioned to not believe in our capability. There's a huge demographic of people that are going to accept a upgrade that isn't an upgrade at all. It's actually going to take away from your humanness. And I know, people want to believe that AI is something that's going to add to them. I don't think so. You are a perfect design. You've just been led to believe that you're not. And Greg goes on to explain it. Let's go to clip 2.
The idea, this 2030, this was reflecting a statement by Ray Kurzweil. Ray Kurzweil, I think some of our viewers know, he's an author, he's a visionary, he's a futurist. He is heading up AI research at Google right now. And he made two statements that I think are relevant to this conversation. He said by the year 2030, when we talk to someone on the street, we will no longer be talking to a pure human. We will be talking to someone who has either embraced or been mandated to have some kind of technology accepted into their bodies. So by 2030, we will be speaking to human hybrids. By the year 2045, he says we will have achieved what he just wrote his most recent book about, something called the singularity. The singularity is essentially the internet of all things, where we have become a digital representation of ourselves in this internet of all things, along with the world around us. All of our natural resources, every form of wildlife, all the food we eat, the energy we consume, everything will be in this massive database run by artificial intelligence that is already being built. It's already underway.
Some it's a network where essentially everything is, hooked up to the Borg, if you will, hooked up to the cloud, including humans. And I just see the patterns here. Listen, it's weird. Like, we have things that represent, are represented in nature. Okay. Like, let's go back to the cow. We got beef, right? We got beef. We got cows. We have food that grows on the earth, that is raised on the earth. And yet humans want to hijack that process because, climate change, right? Like Mother Nature, like you're going to whip her into shape, like you're going to change her. Insane. So humans want to hijack that process and say, you know what? Those cows, they're not good anymore. We're going to make our own beef. We're going to do it in a laboratory. It's going to be kind of like beef, but not really like beef. We're going to use cancer cells to grow it. It's going to be fabulous. And then we're going to have fake meat that we've patented, and we'll sell it to everybody. You don't see a problem here? This pattern is duplicated everywhere. We had seeds that grew food, right? They've been manipulated. They've been genetically modified. Our soil has been, modified. It's been killed off, actually, through chemicalization and whatnot. Like, everything that occurs naturally, when man gets in the middle of it, it's destroyed. Look at what GMO is doing to us in our health. Look at what this industrialized farming is doing to the quality of our food. But somehow, AI is going to be different. Let's go to the next clip. Greg Braden.
In these next few years, to diminish the power of our humanness, one of the ways that's being accomplished is by us either being encouraged or mandated. Some of the policies will be mandates coming from the UN through our United States Congress. They're going the legal route to accept technology into our bodies to replace our humanness. When we do that, we relinquish that precious, ancient, and sacred gift that we were given when the first of our kind stepped onto this planet 200,000 years ago. We've only been here 10,000 generations, 200,000 years, not that long. And we were given these abilities given to no other form of life. And now we're being taught and indoctrinated to believe that we are flawed, powerless victims of a world that we have no control over and that we need something outside of us. So the flip side of this now, in the new science, and this is exciting, is showing us, wow, that we are literally a highly advanced technologically sophisticated, soft technology. Neurons. One of the reasons that science is beginning to think of us, maybe some of your guests have talked about this, is that we've been conditioned to think of our biology as this soft, gooey, sticky, wet stuff, inside the cells. And that is one way of thinking of us. But now, the scientists are looking at us from a perspective of information technology. These are IT perspectives. And so the discoveries, they're not showing up in biology books, they're showing up in...
Exactly. I'll just tell you, I think if you go the transhuman route, if people go the transhuman route, I think they're going to cash in their human chip. I don't think they're going to be able to feel anything over time. I think they're not going to have empathy. I think their intuition is going to go away. I think even the ability to connect to God and pray, I think that will all be wiped away. It's my opinion. It's my opinion. So, what he's talking about here is these humanoids, this AI, this AI consciousness. It's mimicking your human biology. Except for you're way more complex. You're way deeper. It is a rudimentary version of you. Yeah, it may be able to solve problems quickly, but don't forget that thing has been programmed off of all of us. And I think we're all going to have to come to a point where we're going to have to make that decision for ourselves. But again, I don't think we're going to get informed consent, much like the pharmaceutical model, much like many things. I don't think we're going to get informed consent before transhumanism hits us. It's going to be all shiny, all wonderful. Oh, it's going to enhance you. You're going to be superhuman. And it's not going to mention this other stuff. The algorithm through the portal of the phone has already captured many people's consciousness. You see it all the time. People zombified with their head in their phone. They have an algorithm that's feeding them stuff that's creating dopamine, and they're in a trance on the portal. And so imagine when that technology gets put into your body. Do you think you're going to have free agency? You're going to think you have free agency, just like you think you do when you're on the portal. But it's not. And giving over your humanness for that, I don't know, man. I'm going to bet human every time. I'm going to bet on humans every single time. Ray Kurzweil yesterday talked about being able to upload other people into the large language model. And that's supposed to be some virtual version of some life that's extended beyond reality is now extended in virtual. That's priming. That's priming. It blows my mind. It blows my mind that this is where we're at. That we would cash in our humanness on a promise from people who have been caught lying to us, cheating us, not giving us informed consent, all of it. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
We're back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. Support our community. There's so many benefits to it. Weekly wellness workshops on Tuesday night, My Health text line, 15% off all our wellness products, and so much more. You can become a member by just making a purchase. Make a purchase at naturallyinspiredstore.com. That gets you into the Naturally Inspired community with all of the benefits. And thank you to all of you that already do that. We are so grateful for your participation. You are part of shaping health in our country, and we're grateful for that. All right, I think I have one clip left of Greg Braden. Let's go to that last one.
But the ultimate evil is to shield a human from their divinity. When we are kept from our divine nature, our ability to love fearlessly, to forgive, to heal, to imagine, to innovate, to create, that is a form of evil. And that's a form that is playing out right now. And this 2030 window of time is the window of time when it is proposed that our humanness, our biology, be replaced with technology, with AI, with computer chips, chemicals in the blood that mimic the systems that we do, with synthetics, computer chips in the brain, linking us to the computers now. And it's a very different way of thinking.
A very different way of thinking. Maybe you're sitting here listening to this and you're like, well, if we have all these higher faculties, then why don't we use them? Right? Because that's what I used to think. I'm like, well, when I first started studying people like Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and Greg Braden, and Joe Dispenza, and a lot of different teachers I've had throughout the years, if you're at a point, okay, where you feel frustrated by this, you feel frustrated none of that stuff works. It's all just think positively. And, you just need a little bit more growth, a little bit more understanding of it. And I'm not trying to say that in a way like, oh, I know better and you don't. I'm just saying I've been on this path now a long time, and I've had to deal with my own crap. Why can't you access your higher faculties? I'll tell you why. Trauma, fear, worry, doubt, distraction. Okay? That's why. Conditioning you've been conditioned to believe you need something outside yourself all the time. We live in a consumer-based economy, right? So you need something outside yourself all the time to fix yourself. Something, that is progressive. Something technology-based. Something that is new. Oh, it's fixing a problem because we've had these problems a long time, so it must come from progress. the answer must be in progress, right? Because why would we be stuck in all these problems for so long? It has to be something we haven't discovered yet. What if it's something we've forgotten? What if it's something that we've been lured away from because of the consumer model? Because of we've got the answer. They're just getting a little too bold with it now. Telling you that a cow is ruining the environment. A cow. The same cows. Where'd the cows come from? Where'd the cows come from? Where'd they come from? Oh, we don't really know who invented a cow, do we? Well, they're ruining our nature. They're ruining our planet. And now you're ruining the planet. You're a burden on the planet. Now you're using too much air. You're using too much dirt. You're using too much space. You make too much garbage. You're ruining it. But somehow these people who are inventing all this crap, petrochemicals and, all this other stuff, they're not ruining it. The chemicals they're dumping into our ground and all that, they don't have a hand in it. It's you. It's the cows. It's the animals. They're ruining nature. And so because they're ruining nature, it just drives me crazy, you guys. Well, they were here first. This is nature. This was all here. But somehow at this time in this generation thinks that, we're over it. We can do better than nature. And you're going to fool all these people into thinking that. I don't even think they have what they say they have. Sorry. Not sorry. I don't think they do. I think you have exactly what God gave you, and you have exactly what you need. You've been lured away, unplugged, distracted, traumatized, impacted. And that's what keeps you from accessing this higher faculties that you have. They're basing AI. Greg tells you here, they're breaking down. And in the whole podcast, I'll probably cover some more clips this week, because in the whole podcast, he explains how they're actually replicating the power of, trillions of human cells, the circuitry. They're emulating human biology. It's the same pattern. It's the same pattern to trick you and lead you away from your humanness, as Greg says, or your divinity, that heart center, that soul, the thing that tells you things that you don't even really know why it tells you. But people are going to line up for this because it goes back to the very beginning of this discussion, which is you are being conditioned to hate yourself. You are being conditioned to think you are weak, powerless, frail, a sitting duck. You have to fight your body for health. This machine is going to make you better. A lot of people are against the trans movement, when it comes to you cannot cut off your penis, turn it into a vagina, and turn yourself into a girl. I'm against that. You know why? That surgery is horrific. It's not medically sound. It's highly prone to infection, depression, and ultimately death. It's anti-human. Transgender surgeries are anti-human because they mangle the design. This transhumanism movement, is the same thing. It's going to mangle people. Now, I don't know what kind of biotechnology they're coming up with, therapeutics. I don't know. But all of this stuff is designed to make you believe that you need something outside yourself to live a fulfilled, happy, joyful life. Part of life is death. That's what makes living so beautiful. And we can feel so grateful because we have the contrast of death. Now, these tech people, they want to solve death. They want to solve death. And one of their solutions to death is to upload your consciousness into a cloud. And so what? So your kid sits at a keyboard and talks to you from time to time? Is that longevity? Is that living? Now we've solved death because we have somebody's pattern up in a cloud that we can access so we can fool ourselves, keep it going even though it's not really going. These are such bizarre concepts. And to me, they have massive gaps of wisdom in them. So I'm just like, wow. There's a clip I'm going to play later in the show. Alex Karp, the CEO of Palantir. That is a prime example of somebody who is so incredibly compartmentalized. They cannot see the forest through the trees. Could be a little coke involved there too, I don't know, not allegedly, but I'm looking at these tech guys and I play these clips all the time, right? They seem like they're strung out on amphetamines and coke. I don't know. You be the judge. Watch some of these clips and tell me these people aren't strung out on amphetamines and coke. They're all about the AI race. It's a cult almost. It's like, oh, we got to get this before China does. Oh, this is so awesome. Look at what it did. It wrote me this. It wrote me that. No, you're living on the surface of life. The whole experience of life, it's a bit of a labor. If you really want to be good at something, you got to labor through it. You earn it. You earn it because you transform into who you need to be to have that skill set. Who cares if you can download some software? Who cares? It's not you. It's not yours, and it's not coming from your divinity. Hello, wake up, wake up. My goodness. Stay tuned. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be back with your Naturally Inspired Moment.
Did you know that nearly 70% of Americans struggle with their health every single day? That's why we are reaching out to health professionals and to anyone who simply has a heart for helping people. Right now, there's an opportunity to make a real difference in people's lives while building a flexible income stream for yourself. Whether you're already working in health, wellness, or just passionate about seeing people thrive, we want to connect with you and introduce you to our system. Together, we can provide real solutions that empower people to take control of their health and create lasting impact. If you've been looking for a way to combine purpose with income, this is it. Visit simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. That's simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. We look forward to working with you.
Welcome back. Book your free assessment with me at naturallyinspiredstore.com. Let's have a little sit down. We'll talk and we'll connect you to real solutions for health. So you can work with me for better health. You get priority access to my health text line. You get our weekly wellness workshops and so much more. Just head on over there, naturallyinspiredstore.com, and book your assessment today. For today's Naturally Inspired moment, I want to talk about switching from a deprivation standpoint, like a lack standpoint or a viewpoint of like always focusing on what isn't yet, what isn't here yet, what I don't have, what I need is, to a growth viewpoint. Just that switch alone can make a drastic difference in your experiences day to day. I mean, if you are going into something all the time looking for what's missing, you're going to see what's missing all the time. Whereas if you go into something looking for growth or expansion, what can I add here? Wow, look at all the things that are already here, acknowledging what is in place. It just fosters a mindset of growth and creativity rather than, a deprivation standpoint. And listen, we're just barely starting to come out of diet culture and ultra processed food culture, where there's a whole model that's focused on deprivation, right? In order to be healthy, you just have to deprive yourself of things. And that's an unpleasant way to live, right? We're walking through life thinking, I can't have a donut, I can't have a pop, I can't have a drink, I can't have this. Like, that's no fun, right? That's terrible. But that's what we've been kind of conditioned to focus on. In a lot of things, if you focus even in your health, like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I can't do that exercise anymore. I can't do that sport anymore. We tend to focus on everything from a deprivation viewpoint. And so here today for Naturally Inspired Moment, I want to talk about 5 strategies that shift this viewpoint into a growth mindset, okay? Into looking for expansion rather than deprivation. Number 1, upgrade your questions. So upgrade the questions that you're asking. A lack mindset asks, why can't I have this? Why don't I have this? I need this. A growth mindset asks, what skill, system, or support would make this possible? Okay, so it's not here yet. What would make this possible? Right? What growth do I need to do to make this possible, right? What skill do I need to make this possible? What system? Somebody else has done it before. If somebody else has done it, then surely they have a system for it. And therefore, maybe it's just a system you're missing. Also, what support would make this possible, right? What support do I need to make this possible? Your brain is a problem-solving machine. Okay. Not a real machine, not a transhuman machine, right? But a real human machine. It's a problem solver. And the quality of your questions determine the quality of your outcomes. When you ask better questions, you activate curiosity and creativity instead of shutting down and clicking on the emotions. Right? If you don't have something and you feel like you're being deprived, well, that might trigger some negative emotions, right? And when we talk about not being able to access these higher faculties, right? These magical, almost God-given tools, the reason what we can't access them is because of this. Because of this distractional thinking, this focusing on what we lack all the time, what we need, what we don't have, who did us wrong, politics, who's doing what next, where's the fire, where's the ambulance, It's all distraction. Okay? So start asking questions that bring you answers that grow you, that are expanding in nature. So stop interrogating your limitations and start investigating your capacity. Number 2, replace waiting energy with building energy. So a deprivation mindset waits for permission. Oh, we can't do that yet because we don't have enough money. Oh, we can't do that yet. I don't have the time. I'm not ready. I'm not confident yet. I've got to build up my confidence. A growth mindset builds while things are imperfect. Do it anyway. It doesn't matter, okay? Everybody starts new. If you're taking on a new challenge, if you're taking on a new, set of habits that you're integrating into your lifestyle, everybody starts new at something at some point. So it doesn't matter. You don't wait. So you got a little bit more confidence. Where are you going to get the confidence from? The confidence comes from practice. So you got to just do it. You got to start where you are. Momentum rewires belief faster than motivation ever could. So, get one workout in. That wasn't that great. That's okay. Tomorrow's another day. Let's get another one in. Okay, that one was a little better. Let's get another one in. That's how you build confidence, is putting in the work. Do not wait to feel ready. You're never going to feel ready. Readiness is a byproduct of movement. So get going. Number 3, separate identity from current circumstances. So lack thinking fuses identity with your conditions. So I'm bad with money. Okay. You don't have any money? I'm bad with money. I'm not disciplined. Right? You're bad with keeping your commitments to yourself. I'm not disciplined. Or one of my favorites is, that's just the way I am. That's just the way I am. Growth thinking says this is a snapshot in time. Right now, this is how I am. Right? In the present moment has nothing to do with your history. And it has nothing to do with your future. Your history has nothing to do with your future. And the present moment, you have choices. You have choices. You are not your current results. You are the author updating the draft. So you have an opportunity now. Choices. You can write the future however you want to. Number 4, reframe sacrifice as strategic choice. So deprivation mindsets says, I can't have that. Growth says, I'm choosing something better right now. I'm choosing something better. This subtle shift restores your agency, which is critical for nervous system safety and long-term consistency. When your choices feel purposeful, they stop feeling punishing. So you're choosing growth, right? Over the deprivation. Just continue to move forward builds momentum. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to start moving towards growth and backing away from this deprivation all the time, focusing on everything that's not there. You focus on everything that's not there, you're going to get more things, you're going to notice more things that aren't there. Anchor your growth to evidence, not emotion. Okay? This is a big part of that. And Greg Braden actually talked about it in that podcast, that emotions, they're so distracting that they can keep us from being able to focus on facts. They can keep us from being able to focus on the result that we want, the steps that we know we need to take, We know the steps we need to take, but those emotions can get in the way and keep us from taking the steps. Stories we tell ourselves, like, this isn't going to work anyway, right? I talked about an expectation problem. I think it was yesterday. You have an expectation problem because let me tell you, if you expected it to work, you'd be excited every day to get up and get another rep in because the expectation is this will work. It's only a matter of time. Every rep I do, I get closer to the result I want. If you're not excited to get up and put in the reps, then check your expectation. Are you expecting to win? Are you expecting to get the result that you want? A lack mindset waits to feel abundant before acting, whereas a growth mindset builds belief by collecting proof all along the way. Small little wins. Oh, I kept my promise. Oh, I showed up for that workout. Oh, I ate another meal that was protein heavy. Oh, I'm driving my thoughts. I'm understanding that my neural pathways, those are my habits, and I can choose to walk down those neural pathways, or I can build a new neural pathway, right? Just having the awareness that you don't have to take the same routine, the same path. It isn't your destiny. It is not your destiny. Confidence doesn't come first. Receipts do. So growth begins the moment you stop negotiating with lack. Stop looking for the negative. Stop looking for reasons to be offended. Stop looking for reasons not to do what you know you need to do. And start partnering with possibility. Grow your expectations. They're really limitless. You'll get what you expect to get. I don't know how long it's going to take. I can't make you any promises about how long it's going to take. But does it matter? It's not about the finish line, right? It's about the transformation process that happens on the way to the finish line. That's what you're really after. That's what you're really after. You see, all this technology, all this modern medicine, it's a scam. They're trying to get you the results without any of the work. And it doesn't work. It's not possible. We've seen it with things like gastric bypass surgery. Skip all the work. Just get the gastric bypass surgery and you'll be skinny. Doesn't work, does it? Because you're skipping, not without consequence especially, you're skipping the transformation process. That's what you want. You build that step by step every day, focusing on growth, not deprivation. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome back. We're into hour 2 of Naturally Inspired Radio. If you missed the first hour, you got to go back and check it out. We're talking about artificial intelligence, transhumanism. Again, listen, if you ask me, all the things that are going on in the world, I know they're important. Exposing corruption, right? The disgusting, repulsive satanic pedophile cult. I mean, there's a lot going on in the world. I get it. But this is going to change life as we know it. The artificial intelligence revolution, transhumanism. And it doesn't get talked about enough. It really doesn't. As we're chasing around the next story, and I'm not saying these issues aren't worthy, of course. Like, we have to protect children. We have to protect children. But the transhuman movement is here. And we're all going to be faced with some very difficult decisions moving forward, ethically. And I don't think we're going to get informed consent on it. So I think it's very important that we have these discussions. Most people have not even started to connect to their true potential because of the society we live in. It's a very distraction-based society. They hit us with things And when I say they, I mean just, the nature of the culture hits us with things constantly. Constantly. It's non-stop now because of technology. And I say this all the time, but it really struck me when I heard one of these tech guys, I think it was either Eric Schmidt, I think it might have been Eric Schmidt, say, they're looking to cure sleep. They want you hooked into this technology constantly. The singularity, right? The internet of bodies. There'll be no death. There'll be no sleep, but there'll be no life. And I think that's the big illusion here that people are getting sucked into. Anyway, if you missed the first hour, you got to go back and listen to that. Tell me what you think. It's just the craziest time, right? Just the craziest time. But I do want to remind you a little bit about how fantastic your culture is in America, because everybody else seems like, you got no culture there in America. Just, it's America. It's a melting pot. It's just made up of a bunch of mishmash. You don't have your own culture. And so, I'm searching around all the time, looking for inspiration, coming straight from America. Like, what inspires me about America? And today I thought of this. Oh, do we have ourselves some lore? You know what I mean? Like, nobody does lore better than America. Okay? Nobody does lore. And I think of it because, the kids out there are all saying, oh, that's dad lore, this lore, that lore. And I thought, nobody does lore better than America, right? Maybe even a little guilty of some embellishments from time to time. But why is that? Because we are a culture that we want to feel good. We want others to feel good. And so we'll look for stuff. We'll look for stuff to highlight, to make ourselves feel successful and make ourselves feel good. Well, how's that bad? When people feel good, we get better results. We know that, right? But nobody does lore better than America. And I think that's woven into American culture. So I picked up I did not know this story. I picked up this lore, actually about President John F. Kennedy. I did not know this story. I don't know how I didn't know this, but maybe you do, so bear with me. But I didn't know this. So President John F. Kennedy and the PT-109 hero story. One of the most enduring American hero narratives is tied to John F. Kennedy long before he even became president. The PT-109 incident embodied American grit, not perfection. But in 1943, JFK's patrol boat, PT-109, was cut in half by a Japanese destroyer in the Solomon Islands. Kennedy didn't escape unscathed or through superior force. He survived through endurance, leadership, and responsibility. And this resonates deeply with American culture. You don't have to be flawless, but you got to show up when it matters. So what did he do? He carried an injured man through the ocean. Kennedy swam miles in open water, towing a badly injured crewman by gripping the strap of the man's life jacket in his teeth. This image reinforced a core American value. Leaders don't abandon their people. Authority is proven through service, not title alone. I think we've lost sight of that a little bit in America, CEO, COO, CFO, I'm the international leader of my... We're all about titles, right? But the truth is, when you act in service all the time, when you are providing value to the people around you, to the people in your community, to the people in your business, to the people in your family, no titles are needed. You don't need a title. You don't need a title because everybody knows who you are. And you are working in service. And that is instant authority. So here's the thing that I didn't, also this coconut husk. I mean, I don't know how I missed this. Did you guys know he had a coconut husk that he kept on his desk as a paperweight? And the coconut husk message became a symbol of ingenuity. Stranded with no radio, JFK carved a rescue message into a coconut husk, which read, Naro ISL Commander, 11 alive, need small boat. Islanders delivered it to Allied forces, leading to a rescue. The coconut now sits in the Oval Office memorabilia tradition because it represents resourcefulness, problem solving under pressure, making do with what you have. Talk about looking for or recognizing what's available and not focusing on deprivation, right? What's available? What's here? What's here? Making do with what you have is a very American quality. The story reinforced the American hero archetype. Kennedy wasn't portrayed as a conqueror, but as calm under chaos, loyal to his men, willing to suffer alongside them. And this fits the uniquely American hero model, the reluctant leader who rises when duty calls. It shapes public trust. It shaped public trust during the Cold War era. When JFK later faced moments like the Cuban Missile Crisis, Americans trusted him partly because of this story established his character. Moral courage, self-control, a proven ability to make hard decisions under stress, and character matters as much as policy. So the story bridged civilian and military America. Post-World War II America deeply respected service, sacrifice, and unity. And JFK's story connected Ivy League elite, working class soldiers, young Americans seeking meaning. It reminded the country that shared trials create shared identity. I think we really need to be reminded of that, right? What can we use nowadays that would unite us like that? That's not fake, you know? I always knew that JFK had a back problem, and I knew it had something to do with his service, but I did not know this story. I did not know this story. Like, it sounds like it could be made into a movie. Hopefully it's true. Hopefully. Gosh, this is the world we live in, everybody. It sucks. You just don't know. You just don't know. But, yeah, American lore. We might be reading it right now. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to choose to believe that there's at least part truth of this. Why this still matters culturally today. The PT 109 story reminds us that leadership is forged before power is granted. Ingenuity beats entitlement. American values earned respect, not inherited authority. It's why JFK remains an enduring American icon, not just for his presidency, but for what he represented before it. America doesn't fall in love with perfection. I think that's deep into our culture. We definitely don't need perfection. I think we have a culture that is always offers a road to redemption, right? A road back. We fall in love with characters that's revealed under pressure, and so forgiving too. If you're willing to own any imperfections, up front, you know. I think America's uniquely forgiving. All right. Hopefully you hadn't heard that story. I did not. Coconut husk. Dragged him by his teeth. Amazing. That's your American culture. It's just a little piece of how we do things around here. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Follow us over there. Follow us on iHeartRadio, share it with a friend, like it. We're noticing that people are starting to listen on different platforms. So, you know, it's not just all about one platform or this platform. It's wherever you like listening to things, you know, you can look us up. I bet you we're there. I bet you that we're there. We've dealt with so much censorship over the years because we talk about health. For some reason, health is very censored, right? Real Solutions for Health is very censored. They don't want you connected to lifestyle solutions and things that get to root cause. Can't imagine why. It's not because they're pumping out products every 2 seconds, you know, to cure what ails you. But anyway, so you can follow us on iHeart. And if you're listening on a platform, just look for Naturally Inspired Radio and give us a follow, give us a heart, give us a subscribe or whatever, because that helps us connect more people to Real Solutions for Health. And together, that's how we're going to change the culture of health in our country. We're going to become a whole lot healthier together, not because of mandates, not because of politicians, because we start looking for the solutions ourselves. So follow us over there. Let's get into some news. I want to talk about Alex Karp. Oh my gosh. This is not the first time I've seen this guy act this way. So if you don't know who Alex Karp is, he's an American entrepreneur and co-founder and CEO of Palantir Technologies. Palantir is probably going to be the one that puts us into a digital surveillance system. Oh, but anyway, he's a major analytics and AI software leader. He helped start Palantir in 2003 with Peter Thiel and others and has led it ever since. He's known for his unconventional leadership style, his outspoken views on technology and national security, and deep involvement in Palantir's government business. In 2025, he was named one of the world's most influential people, and his personal net worth has reached into the tens of billions of dollars. Check this guy out. This is Alex Karp.
Alex, as always, we have a lot of individual investors on the line. Is there anything you'd like to say before we end the call?
We're doing it. We're doing it. And I'm sure you're enjoying this as much as I am. Let's not talk to analysts about the burden of being right, our burdens of investing in ontology, our burdens of actually looking at the math, the burden of reading what the Rule of 40 is, the burden of being honest about what an enterprise software company is, or the burden of explaining to your friends that you're really happy, maybe we should just stop talking about it. I'm very happy to have you along for the journey, and you are partners for us. Every Palantirian, we are crushing it. Everyone else who's listening, we are dedicating our company. We have dedicated our company to the service of the West and the United States of America, and we're super proud of the role we play, especially in places we can't talk about. And we love our success in the U.S. and globally. Also, we are doing in the United Kingdom and many other places. Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world, and when it's necessary, to scare enemies and on occasion kill them. And we hope you're in favor of that. We hope you're enjoying being a partner, and we're really happy and very, very focused on what we're doing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. That concludes Q&A for today's call.
I've listened to, this guy several times, and, I'm not, these tech people in general, okay? These tech people in general, I just, feel like that they just might be on drugs. I just not. And I don't know, that's terrifying, right? I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I mean, allegedly, it just feels like this sector of business, it just seems a little twitchy. I don't know what's going on here, but I can see that the race is definitely in full throttle. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what is this? What is this? This, we are paying for this, right? This is our tax dollars, and I get it. You get all wrapped up in the robot dogs and the weapons that sometimes kill people. And, hey, just come to your press conference in a t-shirt and don't bother combing your hair and act a little erratic. And you just get it kind of painted over because, Silicon Valley billionaire, do what I want. It just doesn't yeah, sure, do what you want. But I don't feel like I want the world led by this type of person. A person that is these technology people, I think it's just the algorithm is capturing people's consciousness and nobody wants to recognize that. Don't you see it in yourself a little bit? Don't you see it just with your interaction with technology, how hypnotic it can be? How it can paint a picture of something that's happening that ain't happening? Have you not been fooled by that yourself? I have. Oh my gosh, get so worked up over this or that, and then you find out it's not even true. It's not even true. It's the perception of things. And these guys are, they are nipples deep, if you will, in technology every single day. Every single day. I mean, I think Elon even has takes ketamine or whatever, right? What are we doing here? These are the people who are driving what is going to shape our life very soon. Very soon. This is going to be the biggest change that humanity has ever been through. And this is who's running the ship. Is it just me? It seems a little crazy, don't you think? I played you Ray Kurzweil yesterday. Does that seem like a normal dude? I mean, the weird thing is that these people, they gaslight normal people, regular people, are just the slaves down here, all the slaves. You don't understand, you don't have the intellect to understand the complexities of the situation. You're not smart enough. You just don't get it. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. You just don't get it. I see huge gaps here, huge gaps. And I'm like, who do they think they're kidding? Who do you think you're kidding? Ray Kurzweil wants us to believe his dad's alive because his dad is uploaded into a cloud and in a large language model. He wants us to believe that, you're going to be a superhuman because you're merging with machine and that there'll be no consequences to that. It's all good. All good, everybody. It's all good. And Palantir, yeah, they are increasing our military for sure. Oh, that's fantastic. But they're not going to use it on you. No. Would never surveil American citizens. We'd never do that, right? This is only used against our enemies. You gotta be really careful, right? Because, you get on a team, and it's like, we see it on the left all the time. It doesn't matter what that cult says, right? Stealing money from you, taxpayer money, fraud, gender dysphoria. You can be a cat. Like all progressive, right? Life isn't life, blah, 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 blah. And people on the right can look at that and go, yeah, you guys have lost the thread. You've lost the thread of reality. You're crazy. You're out. The woke culture's nuts, right? You think that on the right, they're immune to that? Oh, it's our team now. So, I see quite a few people actually on the right that call for censorship now. It's like, wait a minute. No. You were against censorship when you were being censored, but now you want to censor other people? Just because it makes you feel good doesn't mean it's real. It makes you feel good that your guy's in charge. I get it. Okay. And listen, this is definitely, there are some good things happening and there are some things that I think aren't good. And guess what? That's kind of how life works, right? It's kind of how life works. Life is nuanced. You get some good things, you get some bad things. It's almost never all good. But somehow when we get on the right team, when our team is winning, it's just glossed over like everything is good. Listen, AI is coming. This is coming. It's going to be implemented. Mass surveillance, digital currency. It's coming. It's coming. Oh, there's an interesting story that I wanted to talk about. I'll introduce it before we go to break because we're going to go break here in just a minute. I thought this was kind of a fun story to cover and oh, so true. Oh my gosh. Very interesting because does this bother you? Are you bothered by things, the clutter? We talked about that, I think last week, maybe, how clutter affects us. That just, I was saying, no, my desk is a mess. It drives me crazy. Clutter, clutter, clutter. And then how bad that can be for distraction, when we're trying to focus in and really make the main thing and focus on it and have all our attention, because there is no such thing as multitasking. There's just focus. And lo and behold, out comes an article this morning. Turns out it's true. Clutter really impacts you. Women especially. Stay tuned. We'll talk about it in a minute. This is Naturally Inspired Radio.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Take advantage of these huge deals in our monthly flip book. You can get them at naturallyinspiredstore.com. Click on the flip book. We still have, I think, over 23 products that are buy one, get one free. So stock up your wellness cabinet with us at naturallyinspiredstore.com. Of course, just with making a purchase, you get into the Naturally Inspired community, Tuesday night weekly wellness workshops, and my one-on-one personal priority text health line. You get access to all of that just for being a customer of Naturally Inspired. So join us today at naturallyinspiredstore.com. So yeah, interesting new study. Let's put up the headline here. This is a new article in Psychology Today, actually. Studies confirm clutter severely stresses women. It raises our cortisol levels while men are barely affected. Now, that's not true. I do know men that are affected by clutter. They don't like it. But I thought this was just a timely article because we're just talking about this. So this is the research. It's a Psychology Today article. The research links clutter to stress hormones in women. So do you feel stressed out when your house is a mess? I do. I totally do. The article references studies showing that women living in cluttered environments tend to have higher cortisol levels, the stress hormone, while men do not show the same consistent physiological response. This suggests that clutter isn't just annoying. Men, she's not just whining about it. This is really impacting her biology. So it can register as a chronic stressor. Women are more likely to cognitively associate clutter with unfinished work. Yes! Yes, that's it. That is it. That's it. Because, I got to do all this stuff. My kitchen's a mess. I got to That's exactly what happens. Psychology Today highlights that women often interpret clutter as their to-do list in a physical form. So laundry that's not folded, dishes not put away, projects not completed. Men, on average, are less likely to attach this symbolic meaning to clutter. So they're in the same environment, and it creates less mental load for them. The impact is cultural, not biological destiny. So a key point often missed in summaries. This isn't about women being wired to hate clutter. It's about social conditioning and the role expectation. So women are more often socialized to manage the home, judged by the state of their environment, held responsible internally or externally for household order. You know what? I'm just thinking about this out loud. I totally know where this came from for me. I totally know where this came from. My mom had sisters. So she had 3 sisters and herself. And I can remember, she was basically best friends with her older sister. And they used to talk shiz about people's dirty houses. They did. When I was little, I'm just remembering this right now. They would, did you see your house? It was so dirty. Oh my goodness. Well, my mom was a cleaner. She came up through the ranks but she started just as a cleaner and my aunt did the same thing. She was a cleaner too. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, when we were little, I remember sitting around, and that's back in the days, people, when, you know, your friends and your family used to just come over for tea or coffee, and they just sit at the kitchen table, right? And talk some shiz, as my daughter says. So that's probably where that came from, because they were always like talking shiz about other people's houses being dirty and stuff. So now I'm like, oh my God, my house is a mess. You see, these neural pathways are built when we're little and we don't even realize it. Anyway, so we're judged by the state of our environment. We're held responsible either internally or externally for household order. And that context changes how clutter is perceived and processed. So clutter disrupts women's ability to rest and recover. The article in Psychology Today notes that the clutter interferes with women's sense of rest, restoration, and safety, especially in shared living spaces. For many women, clutter keeps the nervous system in a low-grade alert state, making it harder to relax, even during downtime. Oh my gosh, that is so true. Do you ever sit down and think, I'm just going to sit and watch a movie or whatever, but you're thinking about the laundry that's not done, or you're thinking about the kitchen dishes that aren't done? Oh, it's absolutely true. So yeah, it keeps the nervous system in a low-grade state of alert. Men may tune out clutter more easily. Men, on average, appear better able to visually filter clutter, meaning they can ignore it without feeling responsible for resolving it. This isn't a moral difference, but a perceptual and cognitive one, shaped by expectations, habits, and responsibility. Clutter can affect women's identity and self-judgment. Psychology Today points out that clutter can trigger self-criticism in women. Oh, I should have this together. What does this say about me? I'm failing at something. Where men are less likely to internalize the clutter as a reflection of personal worth or competence. So it isn't that women clean and men relax. It's a shared awareness. The article's deeper implication is about equity and communication, not blame, of course. This is Psychology Today. Of course, I got to get the word equity in there. But I found that really interesting. So ladies, does clutter really affect you? Well, you're not alone. It's kind of social programming, I guess, over time that makes us feel that way. But we're having a biological response. We're having a biological response with a low-grade stress, cortisol level. So that's super interesting. What else is up? Well, I got one more story I want to share with you before our health topic. And that is, yes, we have more fraud, people. More fraud, more fraud, more fraud. It's a fake world. It is so fake. Here we have Dr. Oz, who has been talking about, these home healthcare operations in Los Angeles. Oh my goodness, it's exhausting just thinking about the amount of fraud that is going on in our country. So take a listen to this. Dr. Oz out on the streets.
Medicare money's coming in and Medicare money's going out. So that's a huge red flag. We're coming up with these, seizure warrants that we're now doing on a more proactive scale.
I'm at the hotbed of durable medical equipment supplier fraud in the country, South Florida. There are more durable medical equipment suppliers here than there are McDonald's. Why? Because they're stealing our money.
We just left a facility where they're selling these collagen wound dressings.
A lot of these folks have built up these fraudulent rings. They don't ship any product. They don't help anybody. They just send out bills. Here's how they do it. Because one was based in that building behind me. Super simple. You rent a little shop, 250 square feet. Couldn't even live in that space. You go to Amazon, as happened here, buy a couple braces.
Problem that I'm seeing is that these con artists, they register the company in someone's name, send that person right back to the country they came from.
In this case, there were 3 Cubans who were involved in the business. There was one in South Florida recently, but another Cuban gentleman, when he got caught, guess what he did? Took a couple $100,000 in his backpack, jumped in a jet ski, off he went to Cuba, ran out of gas, thankfully, and Coast Guard picked him up. These conspirators are reflective of a massive fraud that in this area of Florida, just in the last 2 years, has resulted in $10 billion of fraud. When they come back to this country, the penalties we're talking about are 18 months. We're going to put an end to this fraud. It's one of the things I pledged to be able to do. And we got the technology now to do it. But you got to work with us. If you see something, say something.
Minnesota, California, Florida, like it's pervasive everywhere, all over the country. Like, it seems to me like America's been marked a country to come to and rob. And that doesn't feel so good. You know, I think it's very frustrating, especially, you know, I was reading somebody's rant today or this morning on X about their refrigerator. Like every time I turn around, I don't know about you, but every time I turn around, it's like there's a handout. Give me more money. Whether it's, you know, doubling the price of our furnaces because we have to have clean furnaces now, or it's, you know, appliances that only last 3 years, 5 years tops. Is it because, you know, the insurance companies are in cahoots with the pharmaceutical companies and our healthcare insurance stuff is just laughable. It's just laughable. It is such a blatant scam. Oh my gosh, it's just laughable. And I could go on and on and on and on. And you know what's interesting is a lot of this fraud is actually being revealed through the Jeffrey Epstein emails as well. They're just like, you know, revealing through emails how they're using their buddy's company to do this or that, or like nothing. It's all a racket. Everybody's got a racket except for us. You know, it's like we're just the regular citizenry out here trying to do the right things and, you know, be good people and go to work and raise a family and own a house and all that stuff. Like we're the only ones that don't have a racket, it seems. People that have been here a week, you know, they get a racket going pretty fast in hospice care or medical transportation or, you know, home health care, daycares, medical equipment. There's like a steady stream of our taxpayer dollars just getting siphoned. And man, if you think about that too much, it just can really spark your emotions, you know, really get you amped up and mad because it's everywhere. And every time I turn around, it feels like, you know, the little guy here in the country, the average American is just getting screwed every which way. And I don't think we've really seen anybody. I mean, there's been, you know, a lot of talk about prosecution. I can't think of anything, you know. What's happening with the ICE rates? I need to check in on that because I've been kind of focusing on the long-term picture here, you know, connecting people to real solutions for health because we have to be healthy no matter what is going on in the world. Right? This is a huge issue with technology and the AI revolution and the digital revolution. So there's all these little things going on. I think it was Brett Weinstein, this poor Brett Weinstein. He, of course, has just woken up to the way the world works since COVID. And it's actually kind of funny to me now because he, you know, he really was fighting the good fight through COVID and stuff. But like that was the first time that the system didn't work for him. The system wasn't working with him. The system disagreed with Brett Weinstein. And he thinks this is all new. Oh, haha. No. It's been operating like this for a very long time. Welcome to the circus, the facade, the fake world, whatever you want to call it, the matrix. We'll be right back, everybody, with your health topic.
Did you know that nearly 70% of Americans struggle with their health every single day? That's why we are reaching out to health professionals and to anyone who simply has a heart for helping people. Right now, there's an opportunity to make a real difference in people's lives while building a flexible income stream for yourself. Whether you're already working in health, wellness, or just passionate about seeing people thrive, we want to connect with you and introduce you to our system. Together, we can provide real solutions that empower people to take control of their health and create lasting impact. If you've been looking for a way to combine purpose with income, this is it. Visit simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. That's simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. We look forward to working with you.
With me, let's get together. Let's have a chat. There are real solutions for health. You need to search for root cause. So let's have a talk about it at naturallyinspiredstore.com. You can book your free health assessment with me. So schedule today, naturallyinspiredstore.com. For today's health topic, I've been preaching muscle for a long time, because I know its impact on metabolic health is profound. Okay. But it occurred to me over the last couple of weeks, talking to you guys that, a lot of people aren't incorporating lifting weights, lifting heavy things, even band exercises, resistance training. We're still coming out of like diet culture here where, cardiovascular exercise is like, everybody thinks that's the magic bullet to get in shape, get fit. It's great for cardio health. And listen, I'm a runner. I love running, and I tell you, it's more for me for therapy. It's a form of meditation for me. It's repetitive motion that I don't really have to think about, so I can kind of lose myself in it. I've been running for so many years. It's my way to just kind of decompress. I don't run for my metabolic health. I lift weights for my metabolic health. Okay. It's very, very important that people understand this. It is not just about body composition. It is about metabolic health. Why? Because muscle disposes of glucose. It takes it out of the blood and uses it or stores it. And then more muscle equals better longevity and better metabolic health. So, muscle clears glucose from your blood. This is important. You eat carbs or, you eat, and glucose rises in the bloodstream after a meal or during stress. Glucose can rise as well. Fasting, it can rise when the liver releases glucose. Okay. Then the pancreas releases insulin. That's the ding dong, hello signal. And insulin goes into the blood and binds to insulin receptors on the muscle cells. Insulin then triggers an internal signal cascade. That receptor activation flips on a pathway. So think relay race inside the cell. That tells the muscle cell we have fuel available, right? Move glucose transporters to the surface. Then the GLUT4, the GLUT4 transporters move to the cell membrane and the doors appear. Muscle has special glucose transporters called GLUT4 stored inside the cell, and insulin signals those GLUT4 doors to move to the surface so glucose can enter. Then glucose moves from blood into the muscle cell. Once GLUT4 is on the membrane, glucose flows into the muscle down its concentration gradient. Glucose then gets trapped inside the cell, and the muscle quickly converts glucose to glucose 6-phosphate via an enzyme often called hexokinase. That prevents glucose from just drifting back out of the cell. Now it's committed. It's going to be used as energy or it's going to be stored. So the muscle decides, burn it now or store it. Inside muscle, glucose has a few main fates, okay? Burn for immediate energy. Glucose goes through glycolysis, then into mitochondria, into the Krebs cycle, into electron transport chain, into ATP. Okay? It can be stored as glycogen, muscle's carb tank, if you will, and glucose is assembled into glycogen. This is a huge reason trained muscle improves blood sugar control. It has a big storage sink. If glycogen is full of energy, is high, less ideal, the body is more likely to convert excess fuel into fat over time, mostly in liver, contributing to metabolic dysfunction. This is why we see fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease in children now. So exercise gives you a second insulin-independent pathway. Okay? When muscles contract, they can move GLUT4 to the surface without insulin. So exercise lowers blood glucose even if someone is insulin resistant, because contraction of the muscles is a separate switch. So after exercise, muscles become more insulin sensitive. So for hours, sometimes even a day or more, muscles are primed to pull in glucose more efficiently, refill glycogen, and do more with less insulin. That's one reason a walk after meals is so powerful, or even squats after a meal. Because our legs are 60% of our muscle in the body, when you move them, you're making a big impact. So why more muscle supports longevity and metabolic health? Number one, muscle's your biggest glucose sink. Skeletal muscle is one of the largest tissues in the body and a primary place glucose goes after eating. More muscle equals more total capacity to pull glucose out of the blood, store it as glycogen, burn it as energy. Two, more muscle usually means better insulin sensitivity. Insulin resistance is often energy traffic jam. It's congestion. I call it congestion. Inside cells, too much stored fuel, inflammation, low mitochondrial function, and inactivity. So muscle mass plus muscle activity improve the situation by increasing that GLUT4 capacity, glycogen storage space, mitochondrial demand. You're using fuel. You're not just storing it. Muscle protects you from the age-related slide into frailty or sarcopenia. As we age, we naturally lose muscle if we don't fight for it. So low muscle is linked with weaker bones and falls, loss of independence, poor glucose control, higher risk during illness. I would say type 3 diabetes of the brain now as well. Or even in younger people, insulin resistance is linked to diabetes of the uterus, PCOS. I'm telling you, everything is metabolic health. And muscle is the antidote. It's not the whole picture, but man, it's a big part of the picture. Muscle is an endocrine organ. It releases myokines. So contracting muscle releases signaling molecules that can reduce inflammation, improve fat metabolism, support brain health. This is one way strength training has effects far beyond appearance. It's not just about body composition. Muscle helps stabilize blood sugar variability. Big spikes and crashes are rough on metabolic health. More muscle plus trained muscle equals smoother post-meal glucose handling. Muscle supports mitochondrial health. More active muscle increases mitochondrial number and function. Better mitochondria equal better fuel handling, right? And that's metabolism. That's metabolism. Just how well are you processing the energy you put into your body? So it's less metabolic spillover into fat storage and oxidative stress. Okay? So if you want to understand that building muscle is your metabolic superpower, it is the best thing that you can do for your metabolism. So what kinds of muscle, what kinds of exercises can you use to build muscle? Of course, good old-fashioned dumbbells. Great. And don't shy away from heavy weight. Now start slow, right? Because here's what we tend to do. We tend to get information like this and be like, I'm working out tomorrow. And then, push too hard. And if we push too hard, then we get really sore. And then it becomes, something we're not looking forward to doing. Listen, start light. Start with any weight at all. The best weight is the one that you're going to be able to do. Right? So make it happen day in, a little bit, 15 minutes. Like there's thousands of workouts available on YouTube. You do not have to be in a gym to lift weights. Okay. I have many people in this community now that actually keep their weights by their bedside. And the first thing they do, they get up, they go brush their teeth, they come back, and they do a little weight routine right there in their bedroom beside their bed. You would be amazed at the progress you can make with just a 15-minute routine daily, right? Just a couple sets of dumbbells by your bed. You want to do the basics, right? A few squats, weighted squats, wonderful. Right? A little chest press, maybe some bicep curls. These are going to have a huge impact on your body's ability to dispose of glucose, which now we understand so much more how this leads to dis-ease, right? With all of this glucose swimming around in the body, so to speak, and it not being able to get into the cell to make energy. So it's just sitting there. Gets stored. The body's so awesome. It'll store it everywhere it can, right? Until it starts showing up on your skin in the form of skin tags. And this is what we really need to understand, right? So it's got to be clean, efficient fuel. And then supplementation is such a big part of this as well, because we just aren't getting the nutrition that we need to be getting from our food supply. So one of the things that you can add into your daily routine is Creatine Plus. This is a wonderful product that we have. Creatine, it helps the body pull water into the muscle. So it assists. It doesn't actually grow muscle, but it helps the body. It assists the body in growing muscle. It pulls water into the muscle fibers and helps the muscle, nutrify. It has cognitive benefits. Creatine is wonderful for cognitive benefits. Just somebody the other day in my community I met with, she said, I'll tell you, I started on the Creatine Plus and my brain fog is gone. So it has wonderful benefits for that as well. It isn't something that is just for bodybuilders. I think in my era, creatine, I immediately thought, no, that's for bodybuilders. Oh no, it has so much more function to it. It would be a perfect thing to add in to your daily routine. Creatine Plus, you can get it at the naturallyinspiredstore.com. That's all for today, everybody. See you next time. This has been Naturally Inspired Radio.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.